Welcome, everyone, to Full Count, Sports Memo's MLB betting coverage show, coming to you live every weekday, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be covering baseball with some of the best cappers, analysts, columnists, and sports bettors on the planet. We're going to be giving out free picks on several games for today's card, and plenty of time for you to get down on those picks, my friend. I'm your host, world champion capper, and Vegas's biggest daily sports bettor, Joe D'Amico. Joining me and giving out today's winners, we got a great cast. It's my favorite guest in the world. Sports fans, we got the first lady of Vegas, Dionne D'Amico, and the hardest working man in sports betting today, John Ryan. Happy Monday, Dionne and John.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Now, sports fans, before we give out our first of 3 roundtable games and go into our individual best bets for today, I have a wonderful announcement. It is a discount. I want to read it verbatim because I don't want to get anything wrong, guys. How would you like to bet right alongside your favorite Sports Memo capper for the next 40 days for under $5 a day? Well, guys, Sports Memo's got you covered. A 30-day all-access pass is priced at $299, but for a limited time, not only are we discounting the price by $100, we're also adding 10 more days of picks absolutely free. So to recap, for the next 40 days, you're going to get all plays across all sports from your favorite Sports Memo capper played during your access, including 5% best bets for under $5 a day. Sports fans, no need to worry if you have an existing all-access pass, because as your 40 days will not begin until your current package expires. That is just amazing, Dionne and John. This is so amazing. Just before the show, I went in and I bought Dionne and John's pass plays myself because that's how much of a steal of a deal this is. This is honestly incredible. Guys, the customer appreciation you receive from Sports Memo is unrivaled by any other company in this business. I'll tell you that. We want to show you how much we appreciate you. We want to save you money because saving you money is just as good as making you money. So without any further ado, guys, we're going to go into our first of 3 roundtable games. Our first roundtable game, and I guess that it is appropriate that Dionne is wearing her New York Yankees jersey, is the New York Yankees at the New York Yankees at the Toronto Blue Jays. New York currently 128.5 under minus $1.15. Ladies first today, John, if that's all right with you.
That's always all right.
We're going to go to the first lady of Vegas, Dionne D'Amico. Dionne, first of all, happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday.
You look adorable. Now, I'm going to go on a limb and say you're going to side with the Yankees, but I don't want to let the cat out of the bag there. You're wearing Yankees garb. Dionne D'Amico, sports fans, the first lady of Las Vegas. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this out there. Between this show and the first family show, Dionne's free plays are something like 24 and 4 or 5 on a streak. Her free plays 24 and 5. If her free plays win that much, imagine what her premium plays can do for you. But without any further ado, Dionne, I know you've got another free winner for everybody, so take it away, Yankees, Blue Jays.
All right. Well, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Baseball is about streaks. And right now, no team is streaking as well as the New York Yankees. I know how tough the Toronto Blue Jays are, and currently, they're only 1.5 games behind in the AL East. But the Yankees have won 9 in a row behind an explosive lineup, and surprisingly enough, the Major League's 3rd-ranked pitching staff. Toronto is playing some very good baseball as well, winning the last 7 games. However, overall, their hitting has been a little erratic, and their pitching is ranked right in the middle of the pack in both leagues. While overall, Toronto has played New York very tough, the Yankees have taken 5 of the last 6 meetings in Toronto. Today's pitching matchups are Stripling and Montgomery. Both have solid ERAs this season, but Stripling faced New York twice this season, going to 0-2 with a 4.50 ERA, and in his career has 5 overall appearances against New York, which includes 2 starts. He is 0-4 with a 4.50 ERA. In 8 lifetime outings, which does include 7 starts against Toronto, Montgomery is 2-1 with a 4.03 ERA. The Blue Jays are just 1-4 the last 5 games played as a home dog, while New York is 6-0 the last 6 versus right-handed starters, 5-1 the last 6 as a road favorite, and 4-0 the last 4 games during Game 1 of the series. So this short of a price, I'll stay with the streaking Yankees.
The first lady of Las Vegas says she's taking the Yankees here. Now, Dionne, I've got to tell you 2 things. Number one, our dogs. Now, guys, Dionne and I, obviously, we are married. We live in a house. We've got 4 crazy dogs. They take after Dionne's side of the family. We've got Teaser, Dice, Keno, and Pygo. When you were reading your analysis, which, by the way, was a great analysis,
Thank you.
They were all barking. So my apologies to everybody out there that heard the dogs barking. But They're so excited about Dionne's pick. Dionne, is this your heart or your head when you're giving out the Yankees?
This is my head. Definitely.
Two places, sports fans, your heart does not belong. Sports betting and in love. Always pick with your head. Guys, we're going to go from one leaderboard fixture to another. He is without a doubt the hardest working man in sports betting. I really do. I get up every morning at 1 a.m. I'm up on the West Coast. John's already up on the East Coast. I know this because we're in a communication channel together, and his green light is always on. I love him, and he works hard just for you. And I know his hard work is paying off because he's all over the leaderboards. Just before the show, I know this is a baseball show, but just before the show, we were talking. I believe John said, and I quote, "I can't lose a basketball game if I tried." He's on fire, and he's going to tell you all about his streaks and stuff. But let's get John's take on Yankees Blue Jays. John, take it away, my friend.
Thanks as always. It's a great way to start the week being on your show, Joe and Dionne. It's energizing to say the least, and it really gets you motivated to just keep working harder and harder. But in this matchup, I do lean to the Yankees. I have a little bit of concern that they are hitting at such an unbelievable rate that it might not be sustainable against this Toronto team. And Major League Baseball pitchers, Ross Stripling is 0-4, as you mentioned. A lot of times, it's either one or the other. They either get bombed again and the Yankees win 10-1, or that Major League pitcher comes out with some really good stuff and a really good outing and gets his team in position to win. Whether that's going to be enough or not, I don't know. But I kind of lean towards I like the Yankees run line, believe it or not. On the matchup itself, I think it's a toss-up. But if the Yankees win this game, I see them winning it by certainly more than 2 runs. And after all, if you look at some of the StatCast data I have in my database, exit velocity, there's 4 Yankees that are over 90 miles an hour. Actually, I take that back. There's 8 Yankee players over 90 miles an hour. Obviously, Stanton is 96.5. You have Aaron Judge is 95. Kyle, I can't even say his last name, the catcher. Higashioka, 94.1. Josh Donaldson, 93.6, and the list goes on. And Anthony Rizzo is an afterthought. He's an afterthought in this lineup, 91 miles an hour. So it's hard to imagine that if the Yankees win a game as hot as they are, they don't win this by more than 2 runs. On the other side, quickly, Matt Chapman is 93 exit velocity. Zach Collins, who is their catcher, but I don't think he's in the lineup today, is 94. Gurriel Jr., left fielder, 92.6. So there's a lot of big bats in this game and this series. And one of these games, obviously, we'll see just a ton of runs scored and probably a ton of runs in the first 4 innings of a game. It's obviously the 2 best teams in the American League, in my humble opinion. And I think the Yankees take this one comfortably, so I side with the run line.
John Ryan, who is a leaderboard fixture in multiple sports, by the way. Doesn't matter if it's on the grass or the hardwood. John's getting people paid out there. Guys, he likes the Yankees to not just win, but win by a couple of runs. They're playing some good baseball, John. Once again, a great analysis. You're very technical. You're the best technical guy I've ever seen in this business. And I've been in this business, by the way, John, baseball season. I just realized this baseball season, it was now almost 43 years I'm in this business. Guys, I started when I was 10 years old in the schoolyard with football sheets, but it's now 43 years as a documented capper, over 20. John is the best technical analyst I've ever seen. He comes up with things that, guys, I got to tell you, he's a lot more technical and looks at things that I don't look at, and I'm very successful, but now you know why he is so successful. John, I love it. Now, I know I know we don't want to take too long before we go to the next few rounds of the roundtable games and our best bets. But real quick, can you tell everybody about your win streak you're on? I know you've got some good stats for us.
Yeah, and I always say this very humbly because the betting gods don't like arrogance too much, in my opinion. But we're 5-0 in the NBA streak. We're 19-5 for 79% over the last 24. And I think most remarkable is the 69% against the spread over the last 71 NBA best bets. It's one of the best runs I've had in a decade. And these don't happen all the time. And I didn't say that to be cocky, that, I can't even pick a loser right now. But, you pick the games and you just have that feeling. You two have had it too, where you just it's more than a feeling. You kind of see the box score before the game even starts.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the mode I'm in, and I'm just hoping to milk it as long as possible. And I do think it'll last till the end of the season, and SportsMemo has that great deal for all of us going right now, so they can get all three of us for basically the same price as one of us, which would be the full charge. So I think everybody should go do that now.
John, my good friend, 30-plus year friend, and one of the greatest to ever play on the diamond, Pete Rose, said, it ain't bragging if you can back it up, and John Ryan can back it up, sports fans. Guys, we got two more roundtable games before we go into our individual best bet segments. With the second roundtable game, we're going to be looking at the Braves at the Mets. This is an interesting matchup, guys. You know, you got last year's World Series champ against this year's, right now, the best team in the NL. It's going to be a great matchup. I think this is a real marquee game on the board tonight. Let's go for the first lady of Las Vegas, Dionne D'Amico, Braves Mets. Dionne, take it away, darling.
The defending World Series champions traveled to Citi Field to take on the National League's best current team. Both starting pitchers are looking good thus far this season. While Fried has made 16 appearances, including 11 starts against New York, Bassett has never faced Atlanta. Sitting in fourth place in the division already, 6 games back, the Braves are struggling. New York is in sole possession of first place in the division and once again possesses one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. But unlike the last few seasons, their lineup is producing. They currently ranked 7th in scoring, averaging over 4.62 runs per game, and 2nd in team batting average at 261. The Mets are dominating visitors at home, going 9-4 thus far, while the Braves can't seem to string together wins on the road, sporting a 4-6 record away from home. Also, New York's lineup will jump ahead early and stay there and let their stellar relief bullpen do the rest. The Mets are 6-2 the last 8 at home, 19-7 the last 26 as a favorite, and 4-1 the last 5 versus the NL East. So go ahead and play New York here.
The first lady of Vegas, who's something like 24-5 run with our free picks between the First Family Show and the MLB Betting Coverage Show, says the Mets. You know, Dionne, I see that, you know, you put a little stock in these trends and streaks. And I know before on this show, on the First Family Show, you talk about putting stock a little bit more in baseball than in other sports.
Absolutely.
And that's some good analysis on this. It makes a lot of sense. And for you sports fans out there, she did point out, you know, the last several years, the Mets, as you know, great pitching staff. Their downfall is the fact that they can't get any run support. And now Dionne mentioned, and that's a really good point, that they are getting run support right now. So it's a good angle, Dionne. I like it. I'm interested to see what John Ryan's got to say about this game. So I think he's got a little different take on it, but I'm interested to hear John, Mets, Braves. He's got the cutest smile. I swear to God. You know when he's thinking, you know when his gears are turning, because you can tell his gears are turning. He's got that.
He's got that smile like he's in trouble.
I'm not a big poker player, and I don't play poker, but I would imagine that if you played poker, you have a few tells, because you have that great grin that I think I know what you're going to say before you say it, but I'm so interested because your analysis is second to none in sports betting. Take it away, John. Mets, Braves, please.
Yeah, Dionne, if he asks me out to dinner, I don't have to worry about anything, right?
No.
But seriously, the poker, I have found that my smile can work either way. A smile after getting the flop that's not good for you can communicate to a guy that's, you know, staring you down that, oh my God, he just flopped 3 of a kind. So I think I found like ways to use it at the right times that are money makers in that sport too. But in this matchup with the Mets and the Braves, I'm on Atlanta, and you have a contrarian situation here in Major League Baseball. I've statistically proven years and years and years that if you play the majority of dogs, you have the best chance of making profits over the course of the season. Especially when you have one team that is like just going to the moon right now. They're so good with the Mets having the best record in baseball. And by the way, guys, both New York teams are 1-2 in the record so far early in the season. But it does bring up that Subway Series that's down the road, and obviously a possible World Series confrontation. But in this matchup tonight, Max Fried is a very good left-handed pitcher going up against Chris Bassett, who I played on quite often when he was in Oakland A last year. And this will be, as Dionne said, this will be the first time that Bassett has ever faced Atlanta, and that is an advantage for him. Watching game film and actually facing a pitcher at the Major League Baseball level are two entirely different things. However, this Atlanta team has struggled out of the gate. The Mets are coming off 2 out of 3 over the Phillies. Best record in baseball, hitting the daylights out of the ball. And you brought up a great point, and this is part of the contrarian attitude in this matchup, is that last year the Mets could get runners on base literally like every inning, and they could not get them home. And whatever they did or tried to do, they just were terrible in getting runners in scoring position to score runs. This year is different, but it's so different that it's like a rubber band. It stretches, and then it stretches too far, and then it snaps back. And that's what I see with both the Mets and their offensive performance having a little bit of regression, and Atlanta behind Max Fried, who's just an awesome left-handed starter, having progression, and that's what gives the edge to Atlanta. I have tons and tons of analytics, but how about if we just leave it at that? I'm on Atlanta for this matchup.
So the AL West is a pretty competitive division. The Angels have a good grasp on first place right now, with the Mariners just 2.5 games behind them and the Astros 1 game behind the Mariners. Seattle continues their 9-game road trip here today. Being away from home hasn't fared well for the team, as they are just 2-4 during this road swing. As a matter of fact, overall, the season they are 5-8 away from home. Marco Gonzalez and Jake Odorizzi are scheduled starters. While they both own the same 1-2 records, Gonzalez has a considerably lower ERA. They are both familiar with their opponents today, and I expect both to pitch well. The Astros return home after a 7-game road trip in which they went 4-3. It's true, their home record is just 2-4. However, I feel they will turn things around here, as over the last several years, they own a 37-16 home record against the Mariners. Keep in mind, Seattle is just 2-8 the last 10 as a road underdog, 2-5 the last 7 road games versus right-handed starters, and 0-4 the last 4 versus teams with a winning record. I'm going to go ahead and side with Houston here.
First Lady of Vegas says the Houston Astros. Good analysis again, Dionne. I like your take on games, and you can't argue with your success because you're a leaderboard fixture. I know after this, we'll be doing the best bet segment, and you have a game you feel very strongly about.
I do.
But you've got the Astros. First Lady of Vegas says Astros minus $1.35 is your winner. John Ryan, Mariners, Astros.
Well, I agree with Dionne. The play for me is the Houston Astros here. And Dusty Baker's their manager and commonly called the skipper of the team. And he's had to tweak that starting lineup in the batting order several times already this year to try to find that magic combination. And recently, over the past 7 days, he tried various guys at leadoff position. Chas McCormick, who's from Millersville University, Pennsylvania, got the invitation to try out for that leadoff spot, and he has excelled in that spot. The first time he was in the leadoff spot, he got a couple hits, and then the second game, I believe, 0 for 5. But since then, that's the only 0 for that he has had in that lineup, and it seems to have jump-started the lineup. Granted, Houston has bats, and if you get guys on base ahead of these bats, they're going to start scoring a lot of runs as well. And Seattle, I honestly don't have a feel for whether this team is going to be a contender or a pretender. They are 12-10. Houston's 11-11. But at the end of the season, when we get into August, I would be willing to bet that Seattle's still probably floundering a few games under 500, whereas Houston is making a charge or is leading the AL West, where we have the LA Angels playing tremendous baseball right now. So it only means that we're going to have plenty of excitement the rest of the baseball season. And I am on Houston here, and I like it on the money line up to minus 140.
Sports fans, John Ryan, who's a leaderboard fixture at Sports Memo, says the Houston Astros, anything up to 140. Sports fans, I don't know if I went muted for a minute. My mute sign didn't go off before this roundtable game. My apologies. However, it doesn't matter. You could probably read my lips. I talk so passionately. My friends, John Ryan says the Astros. So just to go over the 3 games. On the first roundtable game, Dionne says the Yankees. John says Yankees, lean on run line. The second roundtable game, our panelists are on opposite sides. Dionne says the Mets. John Ryan says the Braves, going contrarian. The third roundtable game, great minds think alike. They both like the Astros. Now, guys, we're going to go to the most exciting part of the show where each panelist gives out their best bets. Let's go right into, and I'm going to be participating in this at the end, sports fans. Let's go to the First Lady of Las Vegas, whose free plays between the MLB show and the First Family show is something like a 24-5 run. Dionne, if you will, tell us your best bet for today.
Sure. Well, today I have one winner in baseball with my $9 MLB Monday Moneymaker posted right now over at Sports Memo. And there is nothing better than starting the week off with a profit. And for my best bet, we discussed it in the roundtable segment. I like the Yankees. They do well at the Rogers Center. Their lineup is absolutely crushing the ball, and their bullpen is dominating. They are a bargain at this price, so I'm taking New York as my best bet for Monday.
The First Lady of Vegas says, take the Yankees as her best bet. Dionne, just like your husband, that was very short and sweet, your analysis. I like it, short, sweet, to the point. But she's going to stay with the Yankees, and no wonder she's dressed in Yankees garb today.
Pinstripes all the way, baby.
The pinstripes all we bleed those Yankee blue pinstripes, don't we? And once again, you did say that heart and head, 2 separate things, especially in sports betting. This is not your heart, this is your head. You think it's a smart play. All right.
Absolutely.
First Lady of Las Vegas, her free plays are kicking butt and taking names. Something like 24-5 run between the 2 shows. Guys, if her free plays are doing that well, go over to Sports Memo. Get 40 days of the First Lady of Las Vegas, all inclusive, up to the 5-unit plays. Guys, $199. Do that right after the show. Let's go into John Ryan. I know he's doing really well all over the place. He's on multiple sport leaderboards, and he's very excited to tell you about his best bet today. John?
Well, I'm glad that Dionne's on the Yankees because we'd be going head-to-head. But I'm on the Braves here. I like the Braves quite a bit. Max Fried has not thrown his best stuff so far this year, but still has an ERA of 3.00 with excellent control. It's as evidenced by his WHIP of 0.917, 2-2 on the season. So that's where I'm saying that it's either run support or you miss a spot by half an inch at the Major League Baseball level. That ball ends up on somebody's mantle in their den. So that's how close these games can be. It really truly is a matter of inches and revolutions too. You throw a changeup and you don't grip it properly, or worse yet, you throw a 4-seamer, try to bust a guy inside, and you squeeze the ball and it doesn't come out right. You usually get a new ball from the umpire, especially in matchups like this. But I do think there's regression here. Tendency for the Mets. I'm not saying that they're going to get shut out or anything nonsense like that, but they will not be able to sustain the levels that they've been sustaining really since the start of the season, which is great to see. So I'm on Max Fried tonight. He has to be boxed with Atlanta. If something happens where he doesn't start, then unfortunately it's not a best bet. But lastly, he's 1.47 ERA over his last three with a .7 WHIP. That's enough for me. I'm on the Braves.
John Ryan, he loves to use that whip. I'll tell you that. He's like Indiana Jones with that whip. Sports fans, don't go anywhere because I have a best bet for today. John, great analysis, great breakdown. Dionne, as usual, great analysis, great breakdown. I'd like to give a best bet, if I may, sports fans. First of all, I'm going to toot my own horn because Pete Rose said, if it ain't bragging, if you can back it up. We start the month of May the way we finished the month of April, and that is on fire. My NBA 9-3, the last 12. My MLB is heating up. Today I continue to crush the books as I have one big winner remaining on the board. The Mavs Suns Game 1 winner. I've posted it right now at SportsMemo. It's $9 Monday, so you get that big winner for just $9. Normally that game will be at least $35. And tomorrow I'm a featured capper for $2 Tuesday, and I will tell you that tomorrow's release is going to be a big 5% play. The best big game hunter on the planet. 13-4, my last 17, 5 and 10 unit basketball plays. And overall, I am riding a 39-17 run on those big games. Tomorrow's is just $2. Today's free winner takes place, guys. Oh my goodness. In the in the American League matchup between Minnesota and Baltimore. Sports fans, the Twins own a 3-game cushion in the AL Central, while the Orioles, they dwell in the American League East cellar. Minnesota is one of the hottest teams in baseball, winning 9 of the last 10. Just during those last 10 games, they are outscoring opponents by more than 3 runs per game. That is amazing. It's not just their explosive lineup that is earning their victories. Their bullpen has been outstanding. Baltimore comes off back-to-back wins for only the second time this season. And by the way, if you were wondering, the last time they won 2 in a row, they then went on a 5-game losing streak. Just to let you know, those 2 wins were against the lowly Red Sox. The Red Sox are hurting right now, guys, and they took advantage of them. Out of these 2 teams, they're the 2 losingest teams in the division, and they're both struggling quite a bit right now. Tyler Wells, Chris Paddock are taking the hill today. Both are winless at 0-2, but Wells' ERA much higher. As a matter of fact, see, Pygal likes it. She's barking. As a matter of fact, the Orioles have lost each of his 4 starts this season. Paddock, in 14 2/3 innings pitched in his first 3 starts, he's already tallied 13 strikeouts. Just like every other team in baseball, Minnesota has dominated Baltimore, taking 8 of the last 10 meetings overall. 9 of the last 13 played at Oriole Park at Camden. They're also 4-0 the last 4 versus left-handed starters. 7-0 the last 7 played on grass. 5-0 the last 5 played as a favorite. I feel this line should be much higher, but let's go with the Twins, and let's take our bookmakers' money together today, guys. Let's bring my guest back. Dionne, before we close out the show,
yes,
do you have any closing thoughts or comments for everyone out there?
Well, you know what? This best bet that I have today, I love it so much. It almost made it as a premium play today, but this is the right way to go. Take the Yankees as the best bet because I am going with the team that is streaking.
The answer is the Yankees.
And there's one more thing too. You want to know what else? I am so excited about the $2 plays tomorrow. And for $5, I think I may go ahead and buy that of all 3 of you fantastic handicappers tomorrow.
Well, I love it. That's the only way I'm going to give you my $2 play tomorrow. I want you to know that. John, she does not give me any of her big game releases while we're doing games in the morning together. We do our games together in my office, and then she moves to her office and closes the door. It's easier to find it's probably easier to find DB Cooper or the 18 missing minutes of the Watergate tapes than it is to get before she puts it on. John, any closing thoughts or comments for our viewers out there?
Well, one thought is I really have been thriving on in-game betting, and the NBA is by far the best one to do that with. But with Dionne's pick on the Yankees, don't forget that you can do 50% of a regular bet pre-flop and then hope that opponent scores first, giving you a reduction of at least 50 basis points off that money line. Further, the bet that I really do like, and this would be equal to the Braves, is taking 75%, not higher than 85% of your normal bet size. So if you're a $100 bettor, this is $75 to $85 on the money line with the Yankees. And then the rest of it, you sprinkle on the run line, just in case the Yankees blow them out.
There you go.
And that's
Great
all
stuff.
I have to say.
Great stuff from John Ryan. Dionne and John, I've got a couple of announcements before we sign off. Sports fans, be sure to tune in every weekday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, to this show, Full Count, SportsMemo MLB betting coverage show. It comes to you live with special guests each and every day. And don't forget about that 40 days discount for $199 at SportsMemo. And tomorrow is Tuesday. Myself, Dr. Chuck, Ross Benjamin, our featured cappers, get all three of our winning plays for just $5. Thanks to Sports Memo, Tuesdays aren't just for tacos anymore. Sports fans, this is Joe D'Amico. On behalf of Sports Memo, Dionne D'Amico and John Ryan, good luck and have a winning day.